Okay, well, since you're starting in a laying position, you're ready. I want you to hug your knees into your chest, and when you're ready, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. You're gonna extend your arms about 6 inches above hip height, and then extend your legs to the ceiling at a high diagonal. Perfect. And you're gonna start pumping your arms vigorously as you inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. You wanna lengthen through your arms and your legs and your neck, and you wanna be gazing towards your abdominals. Deepen through your abdominals as well and engage your core, deepening in and up. Good. Continue with that breathing pattern. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Continue lengthening. And when you're ready, hug your knees to your chest. We're gonna transition to roll-ups. So extend your legs to the mat over here and flex your feet. You want your legs together. And lift your arms to the ceiling. Good, palms facing your feet. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale as you nod your head up and exhale as you begin to lengthen towards your feet. And as you begin to roll back, you're gonna inhale, and as you roll back with that C curve in your spine, exhale as your back, head, neck, and shoulders hit the mat. Good. Inhale as you nod your head through the window of your arms. Exhale as you stretch forward with this curve in your spine. Inhale as you begin to roll back, and you almost want to be like a wheel with that C curve in your spine. And yes, inhale when you reach the bottom of the mat. We'll do one more. Inhale to lift. Good. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to lift back up. And exhale to roll back down. You can hug your knees into your chest, and we're going to transition to one leg circles. So when you're ready, you're going to extend your left leg down to the mat where it was before. Have it flexed, and you want it strong and anchored into the mat. And you're going to lift this other leg, your right leg, to the ceiling. And when you're ready for the one leg circles, you're going to go across your body, down and around. And your palms are going to be flat on the mat, engaged and supporting. Across, down and around, across, down and around. One more, and we're going to switch directions. Good. And across, down and around. Perfect. You want to keep your core engaged, your powerhouse engaged throughout this all. The only thing moving is your leg in this exercise. And you want to keep the circle small, and you want to lengthen through this leg. Perfect. After this rep, you're going to hug your knee into your chest. You can extend this leg back out and pull the other leg into your chest to do the other side. When you're ready, you can extend that leg to the ceiling and palms into the mat. Perfect. You're gonna go across, down and around, across, down and around. You wanna keep the powerhouse of your core engaged. Perfect. And after this next rep, we're gonna switch directions. Out, down, and around, out, down, and around. Good. And you're lengthening through that leg as you do this exercise. And when you're ready, after this next rep, hug your knee into your chest, and you can actually pull the other knee to hug into your chest as well. We're now transitioning to rolling like a ball. So I want you to put your hands underneath your knee creases and roll up to a seated position. You're gonna rock up, yeah. So for rolling like a ball, you're gonna keep your feet together. Your legs are going to be shoulder width apart, and your elbows are going to be wide, and you want to have a C curve in your spine. You're going to tuck, yep, perfect. And when you feel comfortable in your balance and your core strength, you're going to lift your feet off the mat. You want to keep them together, perfect. Well, actually, just put them flat and like that, yeah. And when you're ready, you're going to roll back onto your shoulder blades and roll right back up and engage your core. You want to be in control at every position of this exercise and keep the C curve in your spine so it's almost like a wheel rolling back and forth. Okay, roll, perfect, and stop, perfect. We'll do 2 more. Roll, good. And for the last one, perfect. And then you can place your feet back down onto the mat, and you can roll back down to lie down on the mat. You might want to recenter yourself on the mat, so you're a little this way. And we're going to start on the ab series. So the first exercise in the ab series is a single leg stretch. So So I want you to hug your knees to your chest, and I want you to wrap your hands around the shin, upper shin, of one of your knees. I would do the right leg first, and you're gonna extend the other leg. Put it back, sorry, for 1 second. You're gonna lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and then you're gonna extend that other leg to a high diagonal. I want you to exhale, and as you switch legs to hug the other leg in, you're gonna inhale. So switch, inhale and exhale once it's there. Switch, inhale, and exhale when you're there, and during the switch, inhale to switch, and then exhale, inhale to switch, exhale. And as you continue with this breathing pattern, I want you to engage your core, deepen your abdominals, draw them in and up, lengthen the leg that is out in the high diagonal. And we're gonna do 2 more. This is the last one. And exhale. Great. And exhale. And hug your knees into your chest. We're now gonna do double leg circles. So for this, lift your head. If you need a second, you can twist your hips back and forth, nod your head. And when you're ready, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, and just exhale all the air you have inside of you. Perfect. And simultaneously, I want you to extend, for the double leg stretch, your arms to a high diagonal as well as your legs to a high diagonal, and a high diagonal this way in opposite directions. Perfect. And as I want you to inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to circle your arms around and return to the initial position of hugging the shins that we were in before, where you're hugging them. So, and you'll maintain having your head, neck, and shoulder lifted. So exhale and inhale as you go to that high diagonal, the simultaneous opposite high diagonal, and exhale as you circle your arms around and hug the shins. And don't lower, you'll maintain having your head, neck, and shoulder up. So let's do it 2 more times so you're comfortable with it. Inhale, circle arms and exhale, and hug on top of the shins. And then when you're ready, you're gonna inhale and then hug your shins. Perfect. Now you can rest your head, neck, and shoulders down for a second because we're gonna transition to scissors. So when you're ready, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Perfect. And you're going to extend both legs to the ceiling. You're gonna wrap your hands around the back of your right thigh, your hamstring, and you're going to pull it to your face. And as you do so, you can drop this leg to a higher diagonal. And you're gonna switch. Pull, switch. Pull, switch. Deepen your abdominals with each pull, and lengthen through your neck. Good. Pull, switch. Pull, switch. You can lengthen the leg that's even at the high diagonal as well. And activate your powerhouse throughout this whole exercise. Good. 2 more, and then you can hug your knees into your chest. Good. Now we're going to transition to lower lift. So you can put your feet back down onto the mat. You're going to lift your glutes off of the mat and place your hands underneath your sacrum on top of each other to support it. You can lower back down and hug your knees into your chest without your hands. And when you're ready, you can extend them just to a 90-degree angle. And when you're ready, you're going to lower down your legs for 3 counts, 2, 3, and lift back up. Lower for 3, 2, 1, lift back up. You want to control in lifting back up in the motion, and you want control throughout the entire exercise, which means you're drawing in your abs, you're lifting them. And lengthen through your legs through this whole exercise as well as your neck and your head. We're going to do 1 more, and then you can hug your knees into your chest. We're now transitioning to crisscross. And okay, for this exercise, you're going to lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. You're going to place your hands behind the bottom of your skull and have your elbows wide. And when you're ready, as you twist your left elbow to your right knee, you're going to extend this leg out. So you're going to go pulse, 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 and lift through the center as you transition to the other side. Pulse, 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 switch, and then extend the other leg out, pulse, pulse, pulse. You want to engage your core throughout this entire exercise. Lift and switch, pulse, pulse, pulse. You want to lengthen through your arms and make sure you're pulling not just your elbow to the opposite knee, but your armpit, so it's a full body motion. Yes, pulse, pulse, lift, and one more on this side. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Good, hug your knees to your chest. Now, we are going to transition to spine stretch forward. So when you're ready, you can put your hands under your knee creases, your palms under knee creases, and rock up to a seated position. For spine stretch forward, you're gonna have your feet at the bottom edges of the different corners of the mat, so you might need to recenter yourself. You're gonna put your palms facing down and your arms parallel to the mat, straight and parallel to your legs. Perfect. For spine stretch forward, you are going to inhale to lift and exhale as you nod your head and stretch forward. And then you're going to inhale as you begin to lift, good, and maintaining the C curve on your spine, and exhale when you reach the top. You want your back to be like as if you're sitting against a wall. Inhale and exhale as you nod your head, curve your spine and stretch forward, good. Inhale and roll back to exhale when you reach the top. We're gonna do it one more time. Inhale and exhale to nod your head, stretch forward. You wanna engage your core, deepen your abdominals. You wanna maintain a C curve in your spine by lifting. Yeah, lift as you go, perfect. And you'll reach back to your seated position with a straight back. Now, when you're ready, we are going to transition to corkscrew. So, I want you to lay back down. You can plant your feet onto the mat, roll back down to a lying position, and you're gonna lift your glutes off of the mat, and once again, make that pillow for your sacrum. And you can hug your knees into your chest just to, Yep, and then put your glutes back on top of there, your sacrum there to protect it. Hug your legs into your chest, and you're gonna keep your hands underneath your sacrum. Perfect. And you're gonna extend your legs to the ceiling to a 90-degree angle. And for corkscrew, you're gonna do a circle no wider than the mat in one direction, and when you reach the top, you're gonna switch directions. So one circle in each direction, left, up, and then left, down, right, perfect. You wanna engage your core, you wanna draw your abs in and up through this exercise and engage your powerhouse with each circle. The only thing moving is your legs. You don't want your spine lifting. You want everything planted and anchored into the mat except for your legs. Good. One more of the other direction. And you want to stop at a 90-degree angle, that's the top, so it would be more like that. We'll do one more on the other way, perfect. And stop. You can hug your knees into your chest because we're gonna transition to saw. So when you're ready, put your palms at the back of the creases of your knees and roll up to a seated position. For saw, you're gonna have your feet at the two edges of the corner of the mat, and you want your ankles, you want to have your feet flexed. So like just put your feet flat, legs extended, perfect. And you might want to move back a little bit so you can have them at the edge of the mat. Great. For saw, you want to have your arms in a T position, palms facing down, arms to each side. And what you're going to do for saw is you're going to twist to your right, and you're going to connect your pinky finger to your pinky toe while still lengthening through this arm. And you're gonna pulse, pulse, forward, pulse. And twist back to center, and twist to the other side. Pinky finger to pinky toe, pulse, pulse, pulse. Back to center, twist to the other side. Keep your core engaged through this whole exercise. For this, you wanna draw in and up with your core as you twist. Perfect, and still lengthen through your back arm. And twist to the other side, pulse, pulse, pulse. And sit tall, back straight when you're at center. Pulse, pulse, pulse. And I'm gonna have you just do one more. Pulse, 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 good. All right, you can just put your feet flat on the mat for a second. Twist your neck back and forth, whatever feels comfortable, because we're gonna transition to swan prep. So I'm gonna have you lie prone to the mat, facing me, so your head will be over here, and you'll be flat, yep, on your stomach. We're gonna be doing swan prep. So for swan prep, you're gonna have your elbows wide and your hands on top of each other. And you're gonna place your forehead on top of your hands. You want a strong connection between both hands and your forehead. You wanna have your hip bones anchored into the mat, and as well as your legs, good. And for this exercise, you're gonna lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Don't tilt your head up, keep it flat. And lift, 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 and with control, lower, perfect. You're gonna lift, 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 and lower. You wanna draw your abs in and up throughout this entire core exercise and maintain control over the lift and lower at every step. You want your legs anchored, you want your hip bones anchored, and we're gonna do two more. Lift, 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 lower, good. And one more, lift, 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 lower. You can now transition into an active rest position, and you can have a C curve in your spine if you want to stretch your lower back, because we are going to transition into the single leg kicks. So when you're ready, you can come back to lying prone on the mat, except this time you're going to be resting on your forearms. Exactly. You want to have a good diagonal here. You want to have your core tucked in and drawn in and upward in this motion, but you want to have your pubic bone maintained on the mat. You'll have your legs together, all anchored into the mat. Now, for single leg kicks, you're going to kick to your bottom from your knee 2 times with each leg. So kick, 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 switch, kick, kick. You don't want anything moving except for your from your foot to your knee. So kick, 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 kick. Keep your core engaged, the powerhouse is engaged. You want to have a strong upper body, lengthen through your head, neck, and shoulders as you're doing this. Perfect. One more on each leg. Perfect. You can now transition back into that the active resting position, because we're now entering the side line series. When you're ready, facing this way, you're going to have your shoulders, your hips aligned with the back edge of the mat. You're going to have your arm extended long at first as well, but you want that aligned with the back edge of the mat too. And when you're ready, you can rest your head on your hand over here, having your elbow as the support at this part of the mat. So, but you're laying your head on your hand. And then on it here. You'll lay your head, lift your head on your hand here, but you want to be more, I would move down a little bit, recenter yourself on the mat, and just have your elbow right over here, and you're on the back edge of the mat. And for the rest of your body, you're going to have from your, from here down, from your hips, yep, perfect, on a diagonal towards the bottom corner of the mat. And you're going to have your hand, yep, you already have it, 6 inches in front of your abs with your palms flat on the mat. For this, we're going to start with front back. So for front back, lift the top foot, flex it. You're going to kick front 2 and pull back, but you're going to point your toe as you pull back. So flex, flex, and point back. Flex, flex, point back. You want to lengthen through your leg through this entire exercise. Perfect. Keep going. And the only thing that should be moving is this leg. You need your core activated, your powerhouse activated, and drawn in and up in order to control the rest of your body. Perfect. When you're ready, you can lower that leg back down on top of the other foot, and we're going to transition to up, down. So for this, you're going to have your foot lengthened and lift up, 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 and lower with control. Up, 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 lower with control. One more like this. Up, 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 lower with control. Good. And you're lengthening through that entire exercise. And now we're going to switch the counts, and you're going to lift for 1 and lower 2, 3. Lift 1, lower 2, 3. Draw your abdominals in and up. Perfect. Keep that leg lengthened through this exercise. Perfect. Now we're going to transition after this next one, 2, 3, to little circles. So you're going to lift that leg and just a little lower and just do 5 little circles in each direction. This one can be hard for maintaining stability in the rest of your body, so this is where core activation is really important. Yeah, perfect. You want to keep your head lengthened as well. You don't want to hurt yourself there. Perfect. And when you're done with that, you're going to lower your leg. Perfect. Now we have inside leg. So what you're going to do is kickstand the top foot if you can. Perfect. And you're going to hold it. And for your lower leg, we're going to start with up, down, each 1 pound each direction. And make sure it's still on that diagonal towards the bottom of the mat. So up and down, up, down. Keep lengthening through that leg. I know it might feel a little bit harder, but lengthen, down, up, down. And now we have little circles in each direction. So circle this way, perfect. 5 that way, and when you're ready, reverse. Draw your abdominals in and up, lengthen from to the tip of that foot. Perfect. And when you're done, you can rest that foot down. Good. Now, I'm gonna need you to flip to the other side to do the other leg. So here, why don't you'll come to this side and lay this way. This way. like this. Hopefully that doesn't count as demonstrating. Okay, so once again, you're gonna have your shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip, aligned with the back of the mat. And then the rest of your legs, you're gonna have your toes at the bottom corner of the mat. And you're stacked on this side, perfect. And keep your, palm down, 6 inches in front of your abdominals, perfect. So to start, we start with front back. So you're gonna lift this top leg and you're gonna flex it. And you're gonna flex, flex, and point back. Flex, flex, and point back. You can even go behind, Flex, flex, point back. You don't wanna move anywhere else in your body other than the leg. That's where the powerhouse engagement really comes in. Good, draw in and up. Lengthen as you go forward and extend as you go back. Perfect. And you can lower your leg down. We're gonna transition to up, down. So you're gonna lift your leg up for 3 and lower for 1 with control. 1, 2, 3, lower with control. Lengthen, 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 and slowly lower with control. 1 more. Lengthen, 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 lower with control. Now we have little circles, so you're gonna lift your leg and just do 5 circles forward. You wanna keep the rest of your body stable and still. Draw your abs in and up. Keep your palm flat on the mat, that'll help. Good. And switch directions. Perfect. And now we have the inside leg. So you're gonna kickstand that foot. And you're gonna maintain a line perfect at the back of the mat. And when you're ready, we're gonna start with up and down. Up and down. Perfect. Draw your abs in and up. You can really use this kickstand foot as support as well. Up, down, 2 more, and then we're gonna transition to little circles. So, circle 5 back, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 forward. 4, 5. Perfect. When you're done, you can lower your foot down, you can extend the other leg out, and you can sit up to a seated position. Perfect. And I'm gonna have you roll down to lay on the mat. So you'll have to maybe recenter yourself, perfect. Because we're transitioning to teaser prep. So for teaser prep, can you please plant your feet into the mat? Perfect. And can you extend your arms to the ceiling? Palms facing this way, perfect. And And you're gonna extend your left leg on a high diagonal. Perfect. I would do a little, amazing. And when you're ready, you're going to lift and nod your head and peel yourself off the mat until you're parallel with this leg. So your arms want to be parallel to this leg. And when you're ready, you're going to roll back down on each vertebrae of your spine. Ready, nod your head, lift, parallel. You would need to lift your arms a little more and have that C curve in your spine and roll back down. You need to draw your abdominals in and up as you pull. You want to be in control at each point of this exercise and slowly with control roll back down. One more on this side, nod your head, and yep, exactly. Lengthen that leg and your arms as you pull. And when you're done, you'll put that leg down. We'll switch to the other leg on that high diagonal. Perfect. And when you're ready, nod your head, roll up, peel off the mat, it's all good. And when you're ready, roll back down like a wheel. Nod your head, lift. You're going to be parallel to the mat and roll back down, drawing your abdominals in and up. And this will be your last rep. You can, when you're done, roll back down. Perfect. Hug your knees into your chest when you're ready, because now we are transitioning to seal. So when you're ready, tuck your hands underneath your knees, your palms touching your hamstrings, and roll up to a seated position. So for seal, you're gonna spread your knees about shoulder width apart, feet together. You're gonna put your hands in prayer position and dive them between your legs to wrap around the outsides of your foot. Perfect. You're gonna lift your feet off the mat when you're ready and you feel balanced, and you're gonna push your arms into your thighs. Exactly. And I would put your legs a little closer together, and you want to be pushing. There should be like a tension between your arms and your legs. And you're going to have that C curve in your spine. Perfect. And when you're ready, you're going to roll down to your shoulder blades and roll back up, maintaining control through your core. Draw your abdominals in and up as you roll, and keep pushing through your arms into your legs. That'll help with the support. Roll back up to a seated position. One more. Great work. And you can place your feet back down onto the mat. And we're going to transition to push-up prep. So you can flip around, go back into that active rest position. Just to transition, rest your body. You can nod your head, whatever you think is necessary. C curve in your spine so that you can stretch your back in different directions. Great. And when you're ready, I want you to tuck your toes underneath, yep, and pike up your hips. Yep, and you want your palms, yep, exactly. And I want you to walk your hands to your feet and slowly roll up, articulate each vertebrae of your spine, nod your head down, and slowly roll up. And make sure you're on the mat, perfect. And when you're ready, nod your head down, have a C curve in your spine, and slowly roll your body down to the bottom of the mat. You're gonna take 4 handprints out. 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. You wanna still have a tuck in your spine. Draw your abdominals in and up so that your core is engaged, perfect. And breathe in, breathe out. And when you're ready, 4 step handprints back towards your feet. And roll your body up, articulate each vertebrae of your spine, and nod your head. We'll do one more. Nod your head down, roll each vertebrae of your spine, and walk 4 steps out. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to tuck, perfect. And when you're ready, walk 4 steps back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slowly roll up.